Welcome to the Union Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Corey along with the head coach of the Union Redskins, Kirk Frederick, and the Redskins making another road trip. This one inside the state of Oklahoma to Putnam City North, a team that was 3-0 going down there, Kirk, but you guys jumped on them quick. Talk about fast start. I think if you open the dictionary, it's a picture of your team.
Well, I felt like we had really good focus going into the game. Our kids understood they were 3-0. We knew it was time to start that march through district play. This is what sets you up for the playoffs, potential opportunity to play for the gold ball. So this is the one that counted. Everybody was 0-0. We knew we needed to show up and do things right, and I felt like our kids did that.
You did. You statistically dominated. You dominated on the scoreboard, too. A couple of guys had really good games. Really happy to see Tyler Adkins. 2 runs back-to-back. He's got 124 yards after broken arrow. Really focused on him. Nice to see him do that and break away.
Well, I think the focus, too, becomes a little bit bigger than Tyler. Obviously, love to see the speed. He has great vision, great balance, was able to close out a couple of those runs and did a really nice job with that. Amani Griffith came in and did a really good job. Shamari came in, got to play a lot of kids, but specifically Tyler, I think early on, had a lot to do with their offensive line. Those guys, they were disappointed. When you look at a game like Broken Arrow, we don't rush the ball as well as we have. It really, goes to the heart of those O-linemen up front, and those guys really refocused. They did an outstanding job. Guys like, Kyle Lewis came in. We haven't talked a whole lot about Kyle, but there were 2 or 3 times he blocked 2 guys on the same play, took care of his primary responsibility, went downfield, got a big safety. That's when you see those little plays turn into big plays, and real proud of those guys. Kyle Lewis, Krishawn Edwards, Dominique Briggs, Gonzo, those guys up front, Davis Harker. A lot of fun to see those guys playing well.
Let's take a look at some of those numbers, and they are really astounding when you take a look at it. 629 yards total offense. Gus Malzahn-like right there, Coach. Gosh, I can't remember the last time I've seen something like that.
Well, that's a lot of fun to see that number. You go into a game and you think, we need to get our numbers up just a little bit. We need to run a little bit better, establish the run game, which obviously opens up the pass. And we looked down in the first quarter, and one of the coaches that was up there charting the game and said, I think we're almost 300 yards. And so very quickly we realized that we were operating very efficiently within our offense. We threw the ball well, ran the ball extremely well, averaged 13 yards, a little over 13 yards on first down. So just one of those kind of crazy type stats. And when you do that, you'll see 600 yards. But likewise, I think the first quarter was key, was our defense going 3 and out. I mean, we had 7 times that we forced them into a 3 and out situation. And of course, they have a very good quarterback. They'd shown that he can throw the ball around very well. But those guys up front, Eric Giddings, Chance, Malon, those guys had another outstanding performance in the defensive front and did a really nice job putting pressure on them.
I think at one point in the radio broadcast, we'd done the stats, and you were averaging 19 yards a minute of play, which is pretty
never looked at it that way.
Pretty remarkable. The other thing, of course, 14 penalties. I just wonder if sometimes a team that's superior may get critiqued a little more closely by officials in a situation like that.
That might be a good way to put it. I think that, you get in a situation where, the officials are, obviously human as well. I try to put myself in their shoes, and you start watching the game and one team is a little bit more dominant in that game for whatever reason. You start watching them a little more closely maybe than others. But, for us, it's a good lesson for us. We need to be, looked at with a magnifying glass. So as coaches, we look at our kids and the way they play, and when those penalties take place, then we need to obviously fine-tune our kids a little bit more, so it'll make us focus on it a little bit better.
Let's go take a look at a really, really good first half between Union and Putnam North. At least if you're a Union fan, we'll do that next on Union Football Coaches Show.
No matter how you play, or work, or live, life sometimes throws you a curve. At Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center, we help you get back to playing, working, and living your life. EOC, Tulsa's finest and most experienced provider of sports medicine care for over 30 years. Visit us at eoc.com.
At TTCU, before they make any decision, they ask one simple question: what's best for our members? Take checking accounts. They know it takes effort to move your account, so they make sure it's worth it by giving you and your school $50 when you get a School Pride Visa check card. It's easy to manage your accounts here, there, anywhere, and TTCU rewards loyalty. With direct deposit based on your balances, you could earn extra dividends. Rewards? Check at TTCU.
Welcome back to the Union Football Coaches Show. Kirk Frederick, the head coach of the Redskins. I'm Rick Corey, the play-by-play voice on radio. Now let's get to the first half highlights, and boy, are there a lot of them, Union and Putnam North. And Coach, you guys started really well.
With a lot of fun, especially for our seniors to see a lot of guys getting out there and play on the night. And Putnam City, really nice place to play, and home of our Coaches Show, our producer, Andy Erwin, played a little football. I believe he was a PCO guy, not a PC North, but what a neat night for the Redskin fans that were able to get there. Come out, hit a nice run to start off, and just off the fingertips there to Robert. Come down on a 3rd and short, and they did a nice job, some gap exchanges early on, and we miss a block, and they forced us to punt on the first possession, but I think after that we got on track.
Yeah, of course, playing great defense here. Really nice night for Eric Giddings and many of your defenders.
Eric Giddings did a great job. There's Trey Brown breaking on a ball, puts him in a 3rd and long. Get a little pressure off the edge by LT, and Jack Osball forces a short throw, and Jack's there to clean it up and force them to punt. Here we are with a nice little run. I thought Tyler saw it very well. We kind of caved him down there on the edge. Good protection underneath. Austin Barnes on a nice slant route. Mason just right on point with his throws. Nice little screen to the outside, and great block by Robert Thomas and Deontay Calvert to sustain their blocks that long, get him down the edge, and he's off to the races.
Yeah, great receivers can all catch the ball. Not all of them can block, and Robert buried that guy.
He sure did. A lot of effort in how long they have to keep that block. There's our defense back to work up front. Seth Mishler in there. Malon, look at the pressure coming in. Again, there's Malon. You got Ricky there right behind to clean it up. And Malon had a nice night. I think 3 sacks on the night. His sack total starting to climb up there just a little bit.
And that's a really well-run screenplay, pardon me, but you guys reacted so well.
Very well. You know, they set it up great, but our speed was able to keep them behind the sticks. There's one of those plays where you catch them in that slant, and Krishawn Edwards had an amazing block on that one, and there's that speed. Where they have angles right there, you're able to see Tyler kind of beat those angles and finish off the run. Exciting run to see that.
I'd love to see him cover that ball with both hands at the end when he thought he was going to get touched.
For sure. They had a really good tight end, number 43 there. I thought he did a nice job of played linebacker as well, and so we kind of keyed on him, but we were able to make some nice plays.
And there begins the rain of flags.
Well, we obviously covered him maybe just a little bit too much. We come back here, they try to beat us deep again. Trey's right there. His eyes got him in trouble, a young corner, but he's got such makeup speed, he's able to make those plays. There's Colton King on a nice play, senior linebacker in there making a nice play. Malon with pressure off that edge and kind of makes him scramble to the outside, and Mishler's there to clean it up. Back to work on offense, great protection. There's another nice ball right inside there to Austin Barnes. Austin Barnes, a tall, lanky kid, and pulls in the catch.
And Austin really had a breakout night kind of for you.
He really did. It's good to see a lot of guys getting involved. Monty Griffith with a nice run, and then we come back here to Robert off the bootleg. And under pressure, the quarterback putting the ball exactly where it needs to be.
Look at the protection.
Protection is outstanding. We kind of misread this. Mason loses a guy, and there's Warner right there in the end zone, just kind of standing there counting his change, and we find him, but unfortunately we were called for a holding penalty.
But Austin comes right back and helps you move these sticks.
There's Austin again. Look at the big block in there by Tony Gonzalez, wrapping around on a power play. Monty running the ball up tough inside, run the exact same play, and we're able to punch it right in there.
Almost untouched right in there. And again, anytime you get a guy pulling out in front of you, it kind of opens that kind of hole. It's a little bit easier.
There's their version of the little swing pass, and we're right out there, right on point. And you see Io Alagalo beating the block of their receiver and coming in and making a nice play. Got him in a hole. We want to keep them there, and our guys are doing a really good job putting pressure again. 7 times on the night, going 3 and out. There's Tyler again, running the ball tough inside, big blocking up front. Unfortunately, we've got to come back. This is one of those deals where I think we may have had about 60 yards of penalties on this one drive. But our guys, the tenacity, and they just kept pounding away.
Just kept overcoming. You see it again, another first down run, another penalty.
Come back, we know we're in a long situation. Let's go back to work. Let's start putting the ball around. You see there, Robert Thomas with a nice catch. Come back here. Love seeing Cameron McQueen Jr. receiver on a little dig route. Mason reads it well. Come back to Robert on a little bubble pass and just kind of making the defense run and keeping them off balance. And Deontay Calvert has really had a couple of nice games the last few weeks, and love the way that he's catching the ball and working extremely hard in practice.
Well, the kind of targets you have out there now, you really thought early on everybody focused on Robert. You can't do that anymore.
No, we've had some guys that really came together and continue to work hard. Coach Pierce and Coach Ramirez doing a great job with our receiving corps. Defensively in there tough. You see Ricky setting the edge. There's Jack Offsball and Golfin, two safeties coming in to clean it up. And we get to what seemed like a forever first quarter, and now we're back into the second quarter. They had a nice little couple of drives here where they started working a couple of things in the second quarter that started to hurt us, but the team pursuit is just tremendous by our guys. Our staff focuses on that, and guys really chasing the football. Oh, what a big hit there by Lorenzo Thomas. You would not want to be that quarterback. Didn't see him coming, and LT really puts it on him. Great job down the field there. I thought it was an outstanding job, and unfortunately the official thought it might have been too good a job. Come right back to Trey. He continues to battle tough. He's getting better and better with every rep as he starts to cover the deep ball.
Well, as you said, his closing speed is so good. He's a young man who's really got such a great upside.
Unfortunately, they hit us underneath there, and wow, what a big tight end. Gets down the field, and man, you talk about a team that doesn't quit. Just come in there and rip the ball loose on a big play and come up with the turnover.
But that is a classic NFL type body tight end. That's a big guy.
Without a doubt. Here we go. Look at that block there up front by David Warner. What a great job. Again, outside guy making big plays. There's that power play again. Tony Gonzalez, let's hit repeat. And Tony makes a great block, and you're not going to catch him on it. He's got track speed, and when he gets out in the open, he's going to go.
Yeah, just another one. I'm sure for Putnam North, it's like, okay, who's 35?
We come in here. They had a little speed option game here that we had to make some adjustments. They hit us on it 3 or 4 times in this series. They do a really nice job, and it's not very often you say you're proud of the other coaching staff, but it's always kind of fun to see, hey, these guys came up with a plan that gave us a little bit of problems. Our guys had to solve it on the sideline, and we're able to shut it down later in the game.
Well, it's not like you see the option an awful lot nowadays anymore.
Here's that same playback, that tight end. He's covering the ball up pretty well right there. I'm not real sure he was thinking about running, but just making sure he didn't fumble the ball. Great job here. They hit us on the speed option, and they get to the edge, and we're able to put it in the end zone.
And unless you play the option all the time in practice, it's just difficult.
It is. It's a very difficult play to defend, and you don't see it a whole lot, and they had a great plan. Love the blocking. If you give our kickoff return a chance to get the ball, our guys do an outstanding job. There's Io Alagalo on a big return with a lot of big blocks, puts our offense in great position. And then we come back here with a little sweep to Robert.
Well, he's smooth to watch run, isn't he?
Find a way to give him the ball. Then we come back and fake the sweep to him and give the ball inside to Tyler. And our guys are down inside. And, of course, we get in here and get a big quarterback sneak, try to catch him off guard. And just like that, Mason gets another candy bar. We give candy bars to our kids every week for different performance issues from all our special teams and defense and offense. And so our guys are fighting pretty hard for that little reward that they get. And they also get a little selfish on some of those linemen. I think Mason gives all his away to the linemen.
I think that's probably a good choice on his part.
Boy, what a great play up there. You see guys coming in making nice plays. Look at Eric Giddings with the big hit there, and then Javon Elliott with the big stop, tipping the ball away.
Yeah, that quarterback took a pounding.
Trying to get the ball deep. Misread, you don't see it very often. We talk about, Mason saying, man, he's always doing everything, and he makes one mistake, and you feel like you're so hard on him. But I will tell you, the kid has a lot of resiliency and comes back and makes a nice play.
And here you learn that you just don't run backwards against this defense.
Exactly. There's our guys defending the speed option now after an adjustment on the sideline by Coach Neal and his staff. You can see that they were able to do that. And there's Brandon Golfin coming in, really making a lot of plays, playing with a lot of confidence from his safety position.
And that's all about reading quarterback's eyes.
Here we are coming back inside. You got Dominique Briggs leading ahead and then looking for people Dominique's one of those linemen that's going to play from whistle to whistle, and he's always going to be looking for somebody to block.
And Mason right there showing you completion to Zach Fisher, how he keeps plays alive.
He sure does. Zach Fisher running the route, coming back. Mason always looking for a receiver down the field. Come back here, we kind of fake the bubble pass just a little bit. Mason sees the all bail out, so let's get something out of it, and winds up getting a little bit more than maybe what we anticipated just because he has such great feet.
That's
nice throw. Nice throw and catch. Great route there by Cameron McQueen. It's always fun to see one of those guys get a touchdown.
Yep, just get your body between that defensive guy and you, and boy, Mason puts it on point.
Here they are up front doing a nice job. Seth Mishler comes in and cleans up the play. Seth has made some really good plays the last few games as well. Adrian Lewis, outside linebacker, in on the tackle, doing a nice job. There's that defensive front just making it very miserable on that offensive line from PC North, and it all kind of goes into a big half.
It's 49-6 at the half. And certainly you're thinking I get a chance to play some guys. But one of the things we talked about on the broadcast, I think it's interesting, is talking about how you make those decisions. We'll do that a little bit later on. But when we come back, we're going to see the second half highlights. Not quite as many points, but you'll see a lot of guys get a chance to play for Union. This is the Union football coach.
At Arvest, we know our customers come to us for different reasons. There are some who need banking on their time. For others, it's not when they bank, but where. Then there are those who take their banking wherever they go. From big moves to small favors, we recognize the needs of our customers, and now they've recognized us. Again, for the third year in a row, Arvest ranked highest in customer satisfaction with retail banking in the Southwest region by J.D. Power and Associates. Switch today and get the customer service you deserve, only from Arvest Bank.
Welcome back to the Union Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Corey along with Kirk Frederick, the head coach of the Redskins. Let's get to the second half highlights of Union taking on Putnam North up in Oklahoma City. This was an interesting first half at 49-6. Coach, at the half, what's your message?
Well, we wanted to make sure we told our kids this isn't an issue of, hey, if you get in the game, we're not looking to give guys playing time. We want you to go win. We want you to compete. And so we felt like in the third quarter we hadn't come out well in the second half in some games, and so we wanted to try to establish some things, and our defense right away goes out and does a really nice job.
Of course, one of the things you're trying to do is to find some other guys.
Without a doubt. And so we try to get some guys. We got Zach Fisher at quarterback. We want to give him a chance to play with our number one offensive line, give him some reps, and you know, in case people haven't forgotten, we've got a really quality backup, and Zach does a really nice job.
It's so smart to get him first team time.
There he is. You see him operating, throwing the ball. We've got to work a little bit better. A little mishandle there on the route. You know, not Zach's issue there more than it is the route. Again, sometimes you call the play too good there, and Shamari's unable to handle the ball on the screen play. But again, our offense out there doing a nice job. Defensively, go right back to work. There's that speed option, going to pitch and forcing the quarterback to carry the ball. The inside backer picks it up. Really nice job with that. Try a little wheel route. They had a pretty good job, but because of the pressure, he's not able to deliver the football. Shamari in there running the football, doing a good job. Again, there's David Warner with a nice kick-out block. David did a nice job for us again, filling in for injured Holton Fox. There's Shamari, so quick in the way that he runs the ball.
A lot of escapability.
There he is right up the middle. I mean, doing a great job. Love the way he continues to keep his feet moving. You just never know one of those tackles he's going to slip out of. Love to see, see Zach Fisher throwing a nice slant pass in there to Deontay. Deontay with another catch.
This is how you play the read option.
For sure. Seth Mishler in there doing a nice job. Everything's covered up. Love Ricky Rivera, the way he sets the edge on that big tight end. See guys in there like Shade Gesser coming in, making a nice play. Cordell Ramsey on some pressure down deep. Good coverage down there. Again, guys playing well. DeAndre Graham, first time that we've been able to see DeAndre. DeAndre did a nice job coming in excited as a senior to get his first playing time.
And these guys continue to strike you, too. That's one thing. You see it right there.
Huge hit by DeAndre. breaking at the corner position, and love seeing the spirit that he plays with.
And that's the thing, one of the other things that impresses me. You guys certainly pursue, but this defense strikes you.
They really do. They love the way they play. You know, they just love playing the game. Got guys like Malik Hansen in there doing a nice job. The senior that's playing the outside backer position. There's Shamari again, keeping his leg moving. Doesn't look like a very big guy, but he's extremely strong.
I hope they gave him a quarter for the ride, because that was more like being on a trolley.
Now, you've been to Tulsa Fair, haven't you? Here we are back. We've got Amani, and of course here comes Shamari back inside. Big guys up front blocking so well. Got guys, a young sophomore there like Carlos Barrios in there doing a really good job. You got Javin Sanoka, big guard in there doing really well. There's Stouter in there blocking so well for those guys up front. So Mark Gardner, all those guys coming in, we feel like we've got a really quality second team offensive line come in and go to work.
And even another quarterback here.
We've got Brandon Birch in there. I think Brandon's a junior for us. It's got a great potential. So a lot of fun to see some first-time guys in there doing a really nice job.
And Putnam North is about to understand that you can kind of get that option got smelled out right there.
We've kind of figured that one out. So our guys are coming in, doing a really good job. You got Tony Tate in there making a nice play. Jericho Peters, love to see our senior defensive lineman, Rico coming in, making nice stops there. You see they get the ball away, but guys coming in like Steen coming in, making a nice play.
You know, even some more guys, which is really good to see.
Love to see it, because you never know when these guys are going to be guys of the future. They're going to come in and make plays, and you want them to have an opportunity to say, you know what, last year I got to play in 2 or 3 games, and they'll understand what it's like, and they'll make hopefully turn into really good football players.
And no matter how much you practice, there's something about game speed and adrenaline in there.
They're absolutely. Malik in there making a nice play. There's DeAndre coming in. You see Tate coming in, making a nice play. Love to see those guys as they continue to come in and just fight hard.
More pursuit up the middle. You see
More
gang
pursuit.
tackling.
Again, Isaac Ledbetter coming in, making a nice stop for us. They come out here with a little bootleg pass. We're just off the edge there. Walker's there with the pressure and forcing a long throw. And you see, I believe it's Nick Steen that came in. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Nick Steen. We had a young safety in there, and golly, my deadgum roster's too small for me to read. So I apologize on that. Here we go. We come back in. We've got another tailback in here. Mario Ferretti coming in, doing a nice job. Again, just giving guys a lot of time and an opportunity to play.
And for many of these guys, you know you may not have a lot of opportunities during the year. You better take advantage of the ones you have. You may get a little more time next time.
Absolutely. Grinding the clock out, giving some guys an opportunity to play. We're still going to operate our offense. We're not going to just kind of hand the ball off every down. We want to give our guys a chance to play our offense. So we're going to try to throw the ball and make those kinds of plays.
Same thing defensively. Continue to hit people. Continue to chase.
Tyler DeSmit in there at the big play. You got Lopez in there at nose guard. That's a big guy, big junior that you might see. But all apologies to Mitchell Lewis. I know exactly who he is. Those jersey numbers are new to me, though. But Mitchell Lewis does a great job for us. Been a scout team safety for us and had made a chance to make the road and got to play in the game. So.
All right, so 63-6, it's all over with, and it's got to be a fairly quick and easy end of game speech right there.
It was, and we love, again, what we said. We wanted to attack our opponent. We felt like we got off to a great start and a lot of fun.
When we come back, we're going to take a look at the next game. It'll be back at Union Tuttle Stadium, only the second time this year for the Redskins, and a really good Norman North team comes up. That's next on the Union Football Coaches Show.
School has started, and there isn't a better way to show school spirit than by wearing clothes from the U-Wear store. Located next to the stadium inside the UMAC, the Union U-Wear store has everything you could ask for. Football season is here, and every Union fan needs some gear to show school spirit. From winter wear to spirit gear to everyday items, there's no going wrong at the U-Wear store. So come on down to the U-Wear store and show your school spirit.
Welcome back to the Union Football Coaches Show. Rick Corey along with the head coach of the Redskins, Kirk Frederick. And now after that great 63-6 win, Vic Kidwell's got you some terrific pictures from that game.
Yeah, Vic always does a great job for us and does some great photos. I know a lot of people enjoy getting those photos from him. from his website. But I will tell you, he starts off good with Tyler. You got Big Briggs here getting ready to finish somebody off. Kershawn Edwards already planted someone. You see the end of the run here. A lot of fun to see that one as Tyler closes out the run with a lot of speed pulling away from the guys. There's Trey on that big tight end we talked about. Trey Brown with a nice wrap up, and you see Seth Mishler coming in to clean it up. Not anywhere to go with all those Redskins around. There's Austin Barnes. Love that one. Great catch on that slant route early on. Well thrown ball from Mason, and Austin Barnes with that big frame. Here we are. You see Amani Griffith helping out with protection, and Big Briggs there. Nice angle there to try to pick up that blitz. There's David Warner. As I said, I think he was in the corner counting his change. It took so long for us to see him down there. One of those odd plays where a guy slips out by himself and just waiting on the ball to come in for a touchdown. Monty Griffith there coming in. I love to see a senior tailback converted from corner with a lot of track speed and has found a home at tailback.
See Lorenzo being all happy right there, but boy, he had reason.
Without a doubt. This is what's really fun, to see a couple of guys that have played together, seniors having a lot of fun there with LT and Amani just celebrating after a big play. Davis Harker, golly, look at the technique there. That's a 300-pound guy. I mean, just look at how well he carries that weight, and he's able to move guys out of the way. There's that defense. You got Seth underneath, you got Eric Giddings, you got Brandon Golphin. Those guys wrapping up the tailback there, and what can you say about a bunch of guys that are having a lot of fun playing football?
They obviously are, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun against Norman North, a team that we really thought was good. They are very good. They had a difficult night against Owasso. What do you know about Norman North?
Well, you know, if you watch sports at all, you're always going to see a moment where you have an off night, and outstanding quarterback. He's a commit to Oklahoma State, so people that are Oklahoma State fans have an opportunity to come out and see a preview of a guy that'll be playing for them someday. They've got a tailback that's got an offer from Tulsa, so definitely some outstanding athletes. They're big up front, 300-pound guys up front, so we're going to see a good football team that's put together well, and I'm sure after their performance last week against Owasso that they'll be kind of refined and retuned heading up here to play. It's homecoming week, all the coronation stuff on Thursday night. We love what the students do within our leadership and the way things go as far as those festivities. And but the interesting thing for us is Coach Wade Stanley was the defense coordinator here. He's the head coach at Norman North. Lance Tigner, a longtime offensive line coach, is with him. Brent Barnes, those guys that are old guys that used to be on our staff when we won a few championships. Those guys are coaching that team, so it's a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, so we'll shake your hands afterwards, but before we're going to play a little football. Union and Norman North. We'll see you right here and talk about that one next time on the Union Football Coaches Show.